Humphrey, the mayor of New York, promised to arrest Netanyahu if he came to the UN. Now City Hall admits it has no authority to do it. Can you enforce a real arrest warrant with imaginary powers?
Certainly, Mr. President. One needs power to make an arrest, but only a microphone to promise one.
He promised a perp walk, got a legal memo, and released the trailer anyway.
New York Mayor Zohran Mamdani campaigned on enforcing the ICC warrant against Netanyahu, but now admits the city has no authority. He still calls him a war criminal and urges the federal government to act. Experts cite diplomatic immunity, federal supremacy and UN status as barriers. President Trump says Netanyahu will not be arrested in any way.
So let me get this straight. The mayor campaigns on arresting a foreign prime minister, asks the lawyers if he can, discovers he can't, and then demands that somebody else do it?
Mr. President, one must distinguish between the aspirational phase of democratic politics and the operational phase. The aspirational phase is governed by applause. The operational phase is constrained by tiresome technicalities such as the Constitution, diplomatic immunity, federal supremacy, and the regrettable discovery that New York City is not, in fact, a sovereign state.
Apparently the campaign thought he'd been elected president of the independent Republic of Manhattan. City Hall showed him the map.
But the ICC warrant itself is real. Surely a real warrant is supposed to end with a real arrest?
In conventional criminal justice, yes. International justice is more refined. The court issues warrants of the highest moral gravity, then relies upon individual governments to provide the police officers, the handcuffs, the aircraft, and most elusive of all, the willingness to annoy someone powerful.
The ICC has judges, prosecutors, a courtroom, and a very impressive building. Everything a court needs except a reliable way to get the defendant through the door.
Has it ever arrested a sitting national leader?
Not successfully. Omar al-Bashir received 2 warrants and continued visiting countries theoretically obliged to arrest him. Muammar Gaddafi died before any handcuffs could be applied. Vladimir Putin remains at liberty and travels selectively. The court's record is therefore consistent. The paperwork arrives, the defendant does not.
America isn't even a member of the ICC. How can a New York mayor claim its authority?
He does not claim its authority, Mr. President. He borrows its moral prestige. The federal government declines to recognize the court, while the mayor invokes it to distinguish himself from the federal government. It is selective multilateralism at the municipal level.
Legally, the mayor has about as much power to arrest a visiting prime minister as the Parks Department has to declare war, although the press conference would be much nicer in the park.
Then everyone knew it was impossible. Why promise it in the first place?
Because an achievable promise can fail. An impossible promise can only be betrayed by someone else.
Exactly. He outsourced the failure to Washington and kept the applause in New York.
But once he admits he has no authority, doesn't the whole performance collapse?
On the contrary, the admission merely moves the stage. Having exhausted the legal powers of City Hall, the mayor transfers the moral burden to the federal government. Thus, retreat becomes escalation, impotence becomes principle, and a failed policy becomes an indefinitely renewable campaign promise.
It isn't a U-turn, Jim. He handed Washington the steering wheel and kept the horn.
And what does everyone else get out of it?
An admirably equitable distribution of political benefit. The mayor demonstrates moral courage without administrative risk. Netanyahu's supporters acquire a hostile adversary. The president defends an ally while denouncing the radical left. Democrats enjoy another family disagreement in public. The media receives conflict, outrage, and recognizable faces. And the ICC achieves renewed prominence without the vulgar necessity of producing a prisoner.
The mayor plays prosecutor, Netanyahu plays martyr, Trump plays sheriff, the ICC supplies the poster, and the media sells the tickets. The only character missing is a police officer prepared to make the arrest.
So everybody wins?
Everyone except reality. New York keeps the same local problems, Netanyahu keeps his freedom, the ICC keeps waiting for someone else's police force, and nothing on the ground changes. But every side leaves with exactly the clip it wanted.
Then the real product was never the arrest.
Precisely, Mr. President. The product was the argument. In the modern political economy, a carefully calibrated threat that everyone knows will not be carried out can be far more valuable than an action for which someone might actually be held responsible. One might call it the art of the non-event.
So the great international arrest was really just a campaign advertisement nobody had to pay for.
Exactly. Nobody got arrested, except the public's attention. And that was released 3 days later without charge.